Mother was a midwife, she was a healer, she was an herbalist, and for that, they gave her one line in the newspaper when she died: wife and consort of Ephraim Ballard.
Martha Ballard was probably one of the most overlooked, I guess we would call a man who was like her a Renaissance man, but she was a Renaissance woman in the sense that she could have been seen as being a competition for some of the local doctors, and in fact, they did look at her that way.
She was noted because she kept a very thorough diary of all the happenings, and it sort of provided a great insight into what colonial life was like.
She wasn't well known at all until the early 1990s when a University of New Hampshire professor named Laurel Thatcher Ulrich wrote a book about Martha Ballard's diary, interpreting it and explaining its significance.
It won the Pulitzer Prize and was followed by a movie made for PBS. And from that, Augusta woke up of who she was. There were very few people here in Maine when she came, so she was the go-to person when you were in trouble with health, and certainly delivery, burial.
She often went out in the worst possible weather you can imagine, paddling a canoe at a time when there was no bridge connecting the east side and west side in Augusta.
She would cross over into Old Fort Western and other areas on the east side of the river, and even in the wintertime, which was amazing.
I oftentimes, especially in the wintertime, think, did she hop across all of that ice? How did she get over there? The summer, I can visualize the canoe going across and that, but it's the wintertime that when I go over the bridge and I look down and I'm thinking, okay, did she just walk across?
Years ago, the city had a Parks and Recreation plan done. And in that plan, there was a learning center for Martha Ballard, and it was at Mill Park. Unfortunately, timing, resources just were never available, never came together. But a couple of years ago, the Mayor Rollins, saw a need to get this rolling again. So he created the ad hoc committee, and since then we've hit the ground running. And once the ball starts rolling, as it goes faster, things start happening.
This park was created several years ago on the site of what used to be a textile mill that employed thousands of people over the generations. And the monument will, and the grounds around it, will occupy only a small corner in the southeastern extremity of it, at the point where Bond Brook flows into the Kennebec River. The monument, the design of which has not been finalized, will be, I think, somewhat abstract because there is no image of what Martha Ballard looked like. And the idea is not so much for people to come and learn much about her, but probably to reflect on her existence based on what it's like to be in the very spot where she often stood.
To be able to celebrate that as a community and give recognition to that in this particular spot. And so all of the people that can trace their roots back through to the families that are talked about in Martha's life and the legacy that she left behind, I think this will be symbolic of all of that.